It was a little broken up, but hey, we're back.
Hello.
Can we keep it real? Yep, I'm here. I'm here. What's up, man? It's Can We Keep It Real podcast. What's going on, man? We did have to show last night. We had the Tolman coach come in. Um, Uncle Felix just couldn't make it. He had a birthday, actually, but we're going to have Emerson on in 1 second. Emerson Kilgore said, I'll fill in. So, big shout out to Emerson. Look, I got my Marine hat saying that it was salute to the veterans. Great interview yesterday with coach over at Tolman, man. I actually picked Tolman to win today. We're going to bring Emerson up in here. He's going to help me out and go over some predictions today. What's up, Emerson?
Mike, how are you?
Not bad, not bad. Yep, sounds much better now.
Good.
Playoff football, man. It's time, man. Great games.
Yeah, we have some good ones coming up here. I'm excited about this. I know a lot of these young men have been working really hard this season to get to this point, and definitely had definitely a big surprise with one of them there. So I'm glad to see teams do what they got to do here. So yeah, it's gonna be some good games coming up these next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I had Coach DeLawrence on over at Tolman. Had a very interesting chat with him. Nice guy. 4
Absolutely.
years in a row. He's really getting it done. And we talked over this season about Tolman that, Tolman had big guys. They had a decent team, and they just needed to figure it out. And he said, now we have a quarterback, and we turned it on, towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I actually work out some of the guys there from Tolman, and honestly, they're really solid young men. And I've known Coach JD for quite some time here. Outstanding guy, definitely a football guy. Always pleasant on the field. He's a great guy and a great coach. Their team, I had the pleasure to officiate their game versus Pilgrim earlier on in the season, and they definitely had some size. But yeah, I know getting it together was kind of their thing, and it wasn't like they were. They did lose a few games here, but not by much. But I know they're starting to hit their their season stride right now, which is great because right now they're in the playoffs. So much respect for JD and his staff for getting these young men ready for these next couple of games here.
Yeah, he turned it on right at the right time. Towards the end of the season, got hot, and he made a playoff game. They're playing against Classical, and we will get to that in a little bit, but let's start going over some of these games because I know you got some, you got a gym to run, and big shout out to your gym, man. Why don't you tell the people where it's at, how they can find you?
Thanks, Mike. So my gym is 401 Strength and Fitness. I'm located at 400 Warwick Ave, number 7. I work on functional strength and getting folks ready for their respective sports. I really focus on getting both men and young men and young ladies ready to compete on the field and get the job done. So anyone interested in that, please look me up. It's 401strengthandfitness.com and shoot me an email, and I'll get your young men and young ladies ready to go.
There you go. Another big sponsor, Mark, right? You're looking to buy a home or might have questions, just give Mark a call. We always like to support people that support youth sports. So definitely support any of the brands that are up here because it takes a lot of people to make this stuff happen. All right, Central Falls is going to play Tiverton. Both teams are out of the playoffs. These are consolation games. Who you like in that game? Are you officiating any games? Because I just won't cover that game.
So I'm actually officiating that game, so I will not comment on that.
Okay, all right.
But only thing I will say is, obviously, I know those two teams have struggled this season. I am expecting a very good game coming up tonight. This is all about pride and all about respect. So I expect to see a really good game coming up here, and may the best team win when it comes to that.
So I knew Emerson was. I should have said this beforehand because he told me he was reffing that game. But so I'll make the pick. I think Central Falls would have the edge in that game. Them being a Division 3 team, both teams. I'll tell you what. This is the battle of the winless. Respectfully, So somebody's going to get a
Right.
win tonight. So we'll move on to quarterfinals, Division One, Cumberland and Portsmouth. That game will be at Cumberland Tucker Field at 6 p.m.
So I will have to give the slight advantage to Portsmouth. Portsmouth is always a tough team, always prepared to battle. But I will say, and I've definitely been a big fan of, I believe it's number 2 from Cumberland. The kid is absolutely explosive. When this kid gets the ball, he's gone. Portsmouth definitely has to prepare for this young man. He's definitely a playmaker. And, you can't just let him run wild because literally, if you do, you're going to be hurting. But again, I give the slight edge to Portsmouth, but that edge is ever so slight.
Now, the kid Cam Pedro is who you're talking about. Yeah, small
Yes.
kid, very, very fast. Portsmouth got Ben Hurd. Portsmouth has been dynamite, actually. They've been playing good football, and they have for the last couple of seasons. So excellent, man. Another game that was rescheduled to the 16th. North Providence High School and Davies Technical. Davies, we talked about their coach several times. North Providence, made a decent push in D4. What do you think about this matchup if it happens?
I think I would give it to Davies. I've had the pleasure of officiating both games, and honestly, both teams. I know North Providence actually stepped their game up in the past couple of weeks, which is good. I'm definitely glad to see that. But I think overall, Davies has weapons, and I think it might be a little bit too much for North Providence to deal with there. But I would give that game to Davies.
Yeah, North Providence has been playing strong. Davies has been playing strong. I just curious if Davies did get their quarterbacks back. I know they lost a couple of starters. The next game, semifinals,
Right.
6 p.m. Narragansett High School, Johnston High School. Narragansett had some starters out on COVID last week. They played. Them kids sat out the game. Here we are. They're going to be playing Johnston. Johnston, 2 weeks in a row, they played Middletown. They beat them by 1 or 2 points each game. Narragansett, though, pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to give that one to Narragansett. Again, if Narragansett gets those weapons back, they're a very tough team to beat. But Johnson's a tough football program. They always have been, and especially the past little bit here, and they're definitely a team you can't overlook. However, I think the advantage goes to Narragansett just because of the weapons that they have.
Yep, I can't argue with that one. I mean, Narragansett does definitely have some weapons right now, and I lost my page. Let me get back here 1 second. Yeah, Narragansett definitely has some weapons, and of course I got to get back in the page. But Narragansett's playing great football. What is it, Coach Blessing up there? I believe
Yes.
it is.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to him. Kids are really buying into what he's telling them. The next game, your former school, Pilgrim High School, Charahoe. That game will be rescheduled to the 13th. That is not a COVID reschedule. That game is a maintenance schedule in the field. It's going to rain the next few days, and it's better to be safe and let the field dry out, and don't let them play. But who do you like, Pilgrim, Charahoe?
So I'll definitely say that I'm gonna give it to Pilgrim. Pilgrim's been playing really well the past couple of weeks. They played through a lot of adversity, dealing with some of the nonsense at home. But regardless of what they've encountered, they still come out and play good football. Charahoe's definitely a good team. They're one of them scrappy teams. One of them ones that if they stay in that game, then they're probably gonna find a way to win. So Pilgrim got to jump on them early. And keep rolling with that. But I would definitely give the edge to Pilgrim with that.
Yeah, definitely, and I don't even think that's a bias answer, and because we know that
No.
that's the school that you went to. I mean, that's just very Coach Blake really have them kids doing great things, and I want to take this time to wish Uncle Felix a happy birthday. his birthday was yesterday, but he had some things to do. So I said, we're gonna try to get somebody in here to fill in, and I'm glad. Thank you, Emerson. I really appreciate it. But happy birthday, Uncle Felix.
Absolutely. Happy birthday.
All right, here we go. Smithfield High School, EWG. That game will be at Smithfield. They dropped down to a number 3. EWG finishes the season out with 4-3.
Ooh, that's a good one. Um, ooh, that's a good one. I've had the opportunity to officiate both teams, and honestly, I would say they're pretty evenly matched. I would have to give the slight advantage to Exeter West Greenwich, but that's definitely a game to watch. I think that's going to be a nail biter. That's probably going to come down to the fourth quarter and who has the ball, who has the possession of the ball last. Those are really two solid teams. So, I would give the slight edge to Exeter West Greenwich, but anything's possible with that game. They're definitely two good football teams. So, but yeah, definitely slight edge to Exeter West Greenwich.
The next game will be on Fans Only Sports, and then right after that, Coach Dunbar will come in like he's been every week after every Westerly Bulldog game. St. Ray's, the Bulldogs, state semifinals. Some people really have this as game of the week. Could we get an upset here? I mean, everybody's been big on St. Ray's, and I just think we might see some upsets. Is this going to be a game that could be upset?
I honestly I don't think so. And no disrespect to Coach Dunbar and his crew down there. However, St. Ray's has been absolutely unstoppable this entire season. I think that it's going to be a dogfight. I don't think this is going to be an easy game for St. Ray's at all. But ultimately, I believe that St. Ray's is going to pull this off. They have a lot of weapons. Their offensive line is really, really good. They can move that ball. That's definitely one of the big advantages. They can move that ball, and they do it well. So to me, it's going to be a great game. I'm definitely not expecting a blowout. I'm not expecting anything like that. I think again, it's going to be another nail biter right down to the end. But I will definitely say, I mean, on any given day, them top teams get knocked off. Okay, it's definitely a big possibility when it comes to Westerly here. But from what I've seen, just going off of what I've seen during the year, I've had opportunity to officiate St. Ray's twice this year, and they have just been absolutely dominant. So I will give the slight edge to St. Ray's. However, that wild card with Westerly, I wouldn't sleep on them at all. So definitely interested game.
Well, this is good because I'm going to go the other way on this, right?
Of course you are, and I don't blame you.
Not only because
I don't blame you, and honestly, it can go. It can go. I mean, they're that team that can really get that done. So, I definitely wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if Wesley does possibly upset them. But I feel from what I've seen during this season that St. Ray's definitely has the edge in this game.
Well, here's what I think. I think that this being the third time these two programs faced each other in the past year, it can definitely help Westerly. And if Westerly can keep this game close going into halftime, 14-all, something respectable, Coach Dunbar and his staff has been very dangerous making halftime adjustments. I mean, if you look at the stats, he really gets it done in the third and fourth quarter. Now, St. Ray's, you look back a couple of weeks ago, Tolman beats them 21-0. Tolman held them to 21. Pleasant steps in the next week. They score 14 on them. And then Classical St. Ray's handled them pretty easily. But, yeah, I think this game could go the other way. But, yeah, good luck to both these teams.
I will definitely say that I will definitely say when it comes to Wesley has to find a way to stop their run. There's absolutely no question about it. They line up in that I call it tank formation, and they literally shove that ball down everyone's throat. They have to find a way to stop that one formation. If they do that, I'll definitely say they'll have more success for sure. but
And they
they
ride
have to
that
stop that
formation.
formation. That's they once they get in there, they're basically unstoppable.
St. Ray's rides that formation
What's
too.
that?
St. Ray's likes that formation.
Yeah. And they do everything out of it too, and that's what I'm saying. But they I mean, honestly, I think they're about 75% run, 25% pass out of that formation. But man, when they run that ball and that they get that yardage, and and on top of that, they have the tools. Obviously, they have that kid Moses Muse. He's a great guy, a great young man. Excuse me. Really a solid athlete, and he's going to be a tough man to defend, but. If Wesley's going to have success in this game, they have to stop that formation.
And they definitely got to, and he's not the only weapon over there. They got so many weapons.
Right.
But yes, you're right. Coach DeLawrence told a great story that when his son was in kindergarten, he seen some big kid over there with his son, and he's like, "Who's that kid running up on you? Is that an older kid?" And he was like, "That's Moses Muse."
Right.
Coach DeLawrence said he looked like a fourth grader.
Right.
When he was in kindergarten. So, salute
right.
to Moses Muse. Great kid. But, you could go check that podcast. That was on yesterday. Salute to Coach DeLawrence for coming on in. I appreciate that. Nice guy. East Providence won socket. That game has been canceled, so we don't have to go over that. Another game, big game that's also going to be – it's like Division 2B has it locked down on these playoff games because now you're going to have Classical – and Tolman, that's the next game. What do you think about these two teams?
So this is going to be a mix of different styles here. I'm to Classical only because of the young man Buchanan who literally is just a force. I will say, and again, no disrespect to JD, but they have to find a way to stop him. That is going to be. If and when they do that, that will be that'll be their ticket to win. But honestly, Classical does have a good amount of weapons there. But honestly, so does Tolman. I mean, Tolman's starting to turn it on. And honestly, this is something that Classical's really going to have to watch out for because Tolman definitely has the size. They definitely have the size and the power to move that ball, and they do. So I think the factor is going to be if Tolman can stop Buchanan and lock him up, that'll be something there. But I think if they don't, I think the edge is going to go to Classical.
We had someone comment on it. It says Westerly always has strong and athletic athletes. Westerly 28-17. I like that. But Classical is very, with the Buchanan factor. I just think Tolman found the groove with their quarterback at the right time. I'm going for upsets in Division 2 this week. Tolman, Westerly takes it. They meet in the Super Bowl. Okay,
I like it. And again, I got you.
Oh, yeah. Emerson has no bias here. He's just, and I was kind of I wasn't sure to ask you because I know you are a league official and I don't want people to say, oh, my God, he shouldn't be doing that. But that's why we kept that game out of it.
I can have my opinion. For those who don't think so, that's their issue. I'm not getting into that. I can definitely have, I have respect for every single team in Rhode Island here. But again, this is my opinion. This isn't fact, and I'm not gonna do anything or manipulate anything. So again, I give shout outs to all these teams and all they're doing. But ultimately, I feel that some teams are stronger in some areas. I mean, it is what it is. It's the nature of this beast. So. And again, I could be right with all my predictions. I could be wrong, but like I said, they're just predictions. So people can't handle that. That's too bad.
Exactly. This is only our opinions. Another game, and I respect both these coaches. One, a long-time Burrillville Bronco coach, Coach Ferraro. Salute to him. Going against my guy Mikey Washington. A young coach. With as much passion as Coach Ferraro. But I don't think Burrillville really has the dogs right now or the Broncos to get it done. They had to cut it out early against LaSalle, and frankly, I've been saying it all year. Burrillville has no business in Division 1.
So I'm going to give this game to Central. Central is a very tough team. Honestly, with the most impressive game I felt of this year was the Central Hendricken game, where literally the last 30 seconds determined the game. That has to play a factor in this. I will definitely say, I'm going to give the game to Central. However, again, as I said before, a team like Belleville, you cannot sleep on. They're one of those scrappy teams that, if you keep them in the game, they're going to find a way to win. But I do agree that a team like Belleville, though they are competitive, and whoever they play, they're going to give it their absolute best shot. Hopefully they can jump down to Division II, where they could be much more competitive and be a possible force in the playoffs.
And when I said that, respect to Burrville, it's no dig at them. It's just they are way beyond what they could put out there, and this just
Right.
this shows
Right.
failure on the Interscholastic League for leaving them in D1. E.g., another team that I don't think belongs in Division One. I mean, we'll definitely have this conversation off season. But yeah, these teams just don't have the manpower. But
Right.
all right, here we go.
Absolutely.
What is next? Here, hang on, I gotta find where I was. Oh, here we go. Pilgrim and Charrow, we already talked about that, but they, of course, put it back here. That's been rescheduled for November 12th, I think, 6 p.m. game. Give the field some time to dry. East Greenwich and Moses Brown, two teams with some decent up-and-coming quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's actually going to be an interesting game. I know.
This is a non-playoff game.
What's that?
This is a consolation
What was
game,
that?
by the way. It's a
Right.
consolation
Yep.
game.
Right. I'm going to give the edge to East Greenwich. I know that I know Moses Brown came out strong. So one thing people got to keep in mind, that Moses Brown beat Classical early on in the season. Again, I had an opportunity to officiate that game. So they were definitely a force in the beginning of the season. But unfortunately, with injuries and a couple other things, they've been depleted. But the thing about Moses Brown is, regardless of how it is, they come out and give it their all. They're not scared. They're not, honestly, for the most part, they're not really concerned about the score. They're just going out there and getting better and competing. So I will give the edge to East Greenwich there, but unfortunately, with injuries and things like that, Moses Brown's been hurting this year. But they're going to get folks back. I know they have a lot of young talent, and I expect next year they should be competing once again.
And for the people listening, please feel free to leave a comment up in the comment section, and we'll float it through and put it on the screen. We definitely want to know your opinion, and I definitely agree with what Emerson said about Moses Brown. They did beat Classical.
Right.
And Classical has been surprised a lot of people. So respect to both them clubs. Mount Hope, Rogers, another consolation game. That'll be a 6 p.m. game. They'll be playing at Mount Hope.
So I'm gonna give this one to Mount Hope. And again, knowing both coaches here, I think Mount Hope just has a slight edge. I know with a lot of teams, they've been in a lot of games, and it's been kind of towards the end of the game, something happens, and Mount Hope either slides or picked it up. But I think Mount Hope's going to have the edge in this game.
Our next game is going to be on November 16th, Battle of the East Bay. East Providence, Barrington, both teams eliminated from the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. I am going to give this game to Barrington. Only reason why I say that, and again, I know all too well with what happened with Barrington and Westerly in the beginning. I think if they do something like that with East Providence is going to have a tough time moving on. So that'll be a good game. But ultimately, I think Mount Hope is it there. Mike, got to cut this short. I got to run. It's 12:36 here.
Yeah, that was actually our last team right there, Emerson. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And I'll talk to you again.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Emerson Kilgore coming on in. I wanted to complete this. I figured maybe we can grab Uncle Felix today, but he was, like I said, he had a birthday yesterday. Definitely everybody wish Uncle Felix a happy birthday. Go over there and check out his Rhode Island ranked page. And that's about it. And don't forget, coming up, fans only sports, Westerly Bulldog football game in St. Ray's. It's going to be lit. You can find that on Fans Only Sports. Not only that, Fans Only Sports has a bunch of games on this weekend. Look, you got the state semifinals. Coach Sassy, Stanley Dunbar, right? Stanley played for Coach Sassy. This is going to be great. It's the third time that these two programs are playing each other. Let me see. I got a message here. North Providence Davies got moved. We know that already. I think there's a COVID issue there. Not really sure, but I know the Pilgrim versus Charahoe also got moved. Definitely go check out fansonlysportsnetwork.com. Westerly Bulldogs, St. Ray's. Going to be a pretty good game. And then right after that, going to have Stanley Dunbar up on the platform like he has been every game. But that's not it over on Fans Only Sports. You're going to have Classical, Tolman, great game. Both underdogs are going to take it in Division 2. All four of these teams are Division 2B. Incredible. Another good game, definitely check this game out also on Fans Only Sports. Central High School and Burrillville. Let's see, what other game? Last night, Shea Raiders got it done against Cranston West, and I have the score right here. Shea won 21-14. So it's glad that these schools are getting involved. These consolation games, we had the conversation this week. Should stats be counted in these consolation games? Some people say the kids play a full game. Stats should definitely count. I disagree. That stats should be counted for the injury fund game because that is a preseason game. Let me know what you think on that. We're going to talk about a lot of this stuff off season. Definitely check out the Shea game that went on and on Fans Only's YouTube page. You can watch all of these games. They got a great college hockey season coming up. They've been doing so much work over there. Salute to Fans Only Sports. Getting it done. But it definitely is the biggest. I think that Westerly St. Ray's game, it definitely has a story. It's the biggest story that's going on right now with Coach Sassy, which was Dunbar's coach. They played 3 times in the last couple of years, but I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. But that's our predictions. Thank you to everybody that makes these episodes possible. Big shout out to Voice Sports. Check them out on Tuesdays. If you're looking to buy a home or sell a home or might have questions, give Mark Wright a call. We need to support the people that support youth sports. R&R Elite Recruits. You're looking to go on and play at the next level. Claim your free 7-day trial now. Go over there and check it out. Just see how the website is. See what they have going on. Yes, that's right. Fans Only Sports. Shout out to Ronnie. They wrote an article on, I believe he's talking about the Stanley Dunbar, Coach Sassy last year. Maybe he'll reshare that. I talked about it on my podcast. It's been a great, great story. But Fans Only Sports has some great articles. They had one a couple of weeks ago about officiating. They do a lot of great things. So go over there and check out some of their games. A lot of stuff goes into putting these games together. I even tried last week. I tried to get the Westerly game streamed, and I just didn't give them guys enough notice, and it just couldn't be done in time. And if you can't put a good product out there, so we wasn't able to get the game done. But it was on NFHS, so at least we was able to see that. But you're not going to catch these games on any other network. Classical Tolman, good matchups. Central Burrillville, some great games going to be this weekend. Pilgrim's game will be canceled now. E.G. Moses Brown should be interesting. Two good quarterbacks. Mount Hope Rogers. Two teams playing in a consolation game. East Providence and Barrington. That's like the battle in the East Bay. Emerson Drake, Barrington should definitely take that. But happy birthday, Uncle Felix. Big shout out to you. Thank you for being part of the show this year. We'll see what happens, man. Everybody go check out Uncle Felix's Rhode Island rank page. Over 1,200 followers, man. Like, it's just getting bigger and bigger. But definitely tune in to Fans Only Sports tonight. And that's what's up.
What y'all thought we was done? Oh, we ain't never done. It's Mr. Spin Your Block. Yeah, it's the remix. And I got